Hi guys, what's going on? This is Namkraft once again, and we will continue on with KCM Season 2 of 2025 Terran vs Zerg Finals. So far, we have had rather lackluster games, some cunning moves from the winners, but no big epic sets. Sharp, speed, royal action have been eliminated. Ssak is the only, what do you call these guys? Regular players remaining, because after the regular players are fielded, you will have a chance to go for a champion. And from today's lineup, or from the Terran side, who is going to be worthy to take down Soulkey if Ssak loses this game? I guess in terms of current form, Sharp, right? Because Sharp has been doing really well just overall in the last 2-3 weeks, and he's been the star player in the previous lineup against Protoss. But Terran versus Protoss and Terran versus Zerg are completely two different beasts. Excuse me. And you have to treat them slightly differently. Here are the performances of versus Zerg. From the Terran side, you can see Sharp 76% win rate. He is very, very strong. But losing to Soulkey is gonna hurt here. So let's see how these guys gonna be performing. The next map is Metropolis, with Ssak spawning in the top left in the blue color, and Soulkey spawning at the top right in the red color. I think we have an early hatchery there for Soulkey. Of course, his overlord is not scouting in the right direction, so he must follow up with a drone, and he's gonna be going for gas. Let's see if Ssak will be a little bit more ambitious on speed this time around after he finishes his barracks. Yeah, he's gonna come down and get ready to take an expansion. So very standard, very standard. And I feel like, in these kind of mind game situations, of course, sometimes the Terran could benefit from going for 14cc, as Flash often does, because actually Soulkey, for a while, during the ASL period, he used to go 9 pool a lot. And that has really put a little bit of pressure on Terran players to go for supply depot barracks opening like this instead of just quickly going for quick command center. So this time around, he's going to be going for 12 hatchery, so he will get the benefit of the doubt there. Soulkey, spawning pool is wait, hold on, was that I don't think I got the timing correct. I don't know, we shall see. I think it was hatchery first, right? Anyways, yeah, we're going to be having some Marines coming out now, and of course there's not going to be anything in the short run. We're just going to be looking forward to see if there's any deviations from what Soulkey is going to be doing, or he's just going to be going for mutas. But one thing we know for certain on this map, Metropolis, the specific features of the map is worth noting out, because this will help Soulkey a little bit in the early stage of the game. Let me just quickly show you. Metropolis, there it is. You can see Metropolis there. So you can see that on this map, these areas here are very tough to hold, and Soulkey would just pound on it. Pound, and what is it, pound or pounds? Pounds, right? He would just pounce on it repeatedly until he breaks the Terran side. So Ssak will need to put a lot of turrets in various locations. Actually, he need to, at the bare minimum, he need to put it at his expansion. Then he need to put it at, oh my god, this SCV gets inside. Does it change anything? I guess it does, and the Spire is of course expected. But this is 2 hatchery spires, so once the SCVs finish doing whatever they're doing, they need to go for something else, but it's going to be a factory follow-up, guys, so this will change things slightly. He will lift the barracks or not? I'm not so sure. Zerglings with speed are going to be coming out here and trying to do maybe try to contain enemy, and we're going to be seeing a hatchery all the way out here. This will be very hard to scan, and it will be also a nice way to deflect drops later. But it's going to be a 1-1-1 build from Ssak. It's good because, as we all know, Ssak is very comfortable with vultures. He is not so good with marines and bio in general, so that's cool. But anyways, that's good to say. For the Zerg side, attacking the expansion and then going to this high ground, just be on the high side of the expansion is critical. So I'm gonna suspect that Soulkey would just use a lot of mutas at the expense of getting a good economy in the early game, and then he would just try to bounce back once he does enough damage. But the first vulture is out, he's gonna be hiding. Maybe Ssak will be waiting for 2 or 3 vultures. Looks like Zerglings don't see the medic, so the moment you don't see medic, you need to suspect of some weird stuff. And what is this? Is he okay? I'm pretty sure that is gonna be going for Valkyrie, because the mutilists are out already. Now we have 2 vultures. He will lift up Does he have to lift up anything, or just walk right out the door? I think he just walks right out the door. With vultures of speed, I think it's gonna be waiting for 3 vultures, but this is gonna be all hatcheries inside, so they're not gonna be able to do that much damage. I think that Overlord has seen those vultures moving around. The turrets, the first pair of turrets will complete, but let's see. The mutants already started to make their ways across the map already. We have 5 mutants coming through. We have just 2 turrets, which might be enough, and this is we're going to be having the Valkyrie getting created now, and there is going to be some coverage. The main base is kind of thin. He will try to get some drone. He gets how many drones? He gets 1. He gets 1 drone. Just 1 drone is not the right price you want to pay for this kind of product. Anyways, the Mewtwo is going to try to dive in once again, and you need to have something to block this area. He will try to go for the SCV. The Valkyrie is here. He started to take some shots, and without the presence of Scourges, it will be very hard to hold. But now we have the first pair of Scourges, and let's see how good are the micros from these 2 players. SCVs, maybe SCVs are very, very thin. He dived right through, and good Valkyrie shot. Amazing Valkyrie shot that hits so many Mutants in the process. And these mutants are so bruised. The next Valkyrie will destroy, I think, 2 or 3 of them. So let's see if that is going to change the fate of this game. And will Soulkey just stop going for what he's going, which is going to be air dominance here. These vultures are seeing where the mutants are moving across the map. And I think Ssak, is it the right time for him to take the second refinery? I'm not so sure. These vultures are running around, and they want to find that additional hatchery. And it looks like the additional hatchery is going to get set up here. That is going to be a drone. But in the meantime, we have 1 Overlord getting sniped, so that's gonna change slightly here though. No, the Overlord is still alive. These vultures are doing some good damage, destroying those Zerglings, which is great, but it looks like the Mewtwo is gonna be coming through, so these vultures have to go through, and the Hydra is done, so we are gonna be seeing some Hydras. Finally, we'll have a divergence in playstyle here. Mine's gonna try to get inside, and there are no drones blocking. Very good play by Ssak. He would try to destroy as many drones as possible. There was no need to lay more mines because there are actually no Zerglings coming back. He gets only 1 additional drones, and that's not really what he wants to have here. But now we're going to be having barracks and possibly a tank. What is coming out from that factory, and what is the upgrade that's being used here? Oh my god, a kind of a miscalculations, or I guess misattention there by Ssak to lose his vulture. And now we're going to be having 3 Valkyries, but we got to start to worry about Hydras as well as Lurkers, because when you go for these Valkyries kind of build, you are not going to be making science vessels, that's for sure, and you're going to be using your gas for something else. Anyways, we do have a tank, and there's going to be several bunker because I guess Ssak is fearing a Lurker attack in the front side. Wow, these vultures are coming out and doing good reconnaissance work and laying mines in several key locations, so that's really good. Anyways, looks like a single Zergling was able to spot a tank, and that is gonna tell Soulkey that okay, what's happening? Looks like there could be looks like Ssak is thinking that the enemy is gonna be going for a bust here, but it's not coming. It is not gonna be coming at all because right now the tanks are not, they don't have siege mode. Okay, wow, look at this, a single turret is gonna block the pass of several SCVs, but now things are looking normal. This Overlord was there from before, and it's gonna be falling, and the Valkyries go back up. Very nicely done. Soulkey is supply block 71 supply for Soulkey. Ssak 77. Very nice games, and we will have the first Lurkers coming out now. We need to have some science vessels now. I don't think he's built the science facility yet even. So these Lurkers will be able to come out here and kind of stop themselves in the front. And yeah, we are seeing the Marines not going to try to venture way too far from that areas. Anyways, looks like Hive is done. These tanks going to be coming out. He's going to try to scan. The fighter mount is ready. These tanks going to be super careful. He scans, and he will see. He would need to attack. He will siege, and looks like the Lurkers retreat. No, 2 Lurkers died. 2 Lurkers died so fast, and that's going to be problematic a little bit here for Soulkey. But that single Lurker, we can still see, need to scan. He is not scanning the science vessel. No, there are no science vessels. Anyways, there are still 3 Valkyries, so they're very strong. But he need to, he's running out of scan. What are you? He's waiting, and he will scan now, but he's going to take out the last Lurker. We don't see it. The fighter mount is almost ready, so these tanks are going to be sieging in vain here. I need to kind of resupply with more forces, but look at how Soulkey is spreading out his forces. Some forces are coming out. This is a good idea because when you play against the fighter play, vultures is very important. Vultures will stop, you know, any kind of random lurkers attack, counter attacks or backstabbing actions. Of course, you can kill massive lines of Zerglings as well. But if the Zerg player is careful, he can come out and, you know, try to send a single Zergling to do any kind of, you know, reconnaissance and mine clearing work. Keep in mind that you know, going for vulture play is very APM intensive. Very intensive APM intensive. It's not like Marines and, you know, Medic, which is very easy to play. Okay, massive vultures. This is going to start to get interesting here. And we know that Ssak has not yet expanded behind us. He's just making massive forces. And the Defiler is ready. So I don't know. He's going to try to assault from this right side. He will possibly try to set up some siege position on the low ground. But he's going to be super careful. And nice, what is it, stim by the Marine to stop those forces. The tank's going to be within reach. And he need to have a scan now. He would try to get what are you doing? He was about to get on the high ground, and that would have been very problematic. He gets those lurkers. He gets how many lurkers? He gets the first group. There was the Defiler, Z Defiler. He gets the first Defiler, and nice. The Defiler work at the last minute. He will get at least one tank. He gets two tanks. That tank is gone. Only one single tank is remaining in the group. And keep in mind, Ssak has not yet expanded, so that's going to be a problem. And Nidus Canal is up, which means that Nidus Canal will be able to protect those forces, and vultures need to come out and lay more mines to clear reinforcements and so forth. Anyways, nice attack, and those Valkyries are still alive, which is great here. A single lurker just buying so much time. Anyways, these tanks are gonna have to make a decision to go and do something else here. Ssak need to reinforce with fast vultures, man. He need to start to lay mines around these plants, because there could be a threat of Zerg counterattack, as we're seeing right now. Zerg started to come across the map, and actually maybe he's getting ready to take an expansion. I'm not so sure, but massive vultures gonna try to on the high ground, and it's too late. It's too late because those lurkers are already on the field. He's gonna try to get up there, but can he see? He need to scan. He is not seeing it, and he lost 3 or 4 vultures in that attack, and that was very unfortunately done by Ssak. He's going to be losing more vultures because these muters are still alive, but the Valkyries will eat them slightly here, send them back to where they can, you know, from whence they came. So that's good. Do we have an expansion? I think the command center only is going to be going up to Soulkey. Is very delayed in whatever he's trying to do here. Zerglings have +1 carapace, as the Korean commentator was showing to us. So that's cool, but this base at the 12 o'clock is going to be a thorn in the eye here, because Soulkey will be able to reinforce so fast, and it's just a short ride to the Terran players expansion, which is not exactly what you want to have. We're going to be having some turrets in the main because there could be a threat of drop. Sure, why not, especially on Metropolis. We don't usually see drops from the Zerg side in TvZ, but on Metropolis it is very possible. Because just the way that the back door inside each of the players' bases is so long. Anyways, these Marines gonna try to hold out here, but it's gonna be impossible. And the last of the tank and Marines have fallen, and I feel like it is gonna be just matters of minutes until Ssak have to capitulate here. These vultures are coming out, and I mean, vultures are not good for doing this kind of one-on-one battles versus Zerglings. They are there to lay mines and being microed, you know, not just sending the single line towards the enemy. Anyways, these science vessels finally can do some work, which is great here. But I hope that the mech switch for Ssak will be sufficient, because he's a great mech player, keep that in mind. So being able to get this far with mech at this early stage, only 40 minute mark in the game, he's already got 5 factories with a lot of vultures laying several mines everywhere. This is a good sign, but this 12 o'clock position is a problem here, I tell you, because it's so quick to go towards the Terran side, and we're seeing some Zerglings making their way down south. Marines will try to clear as many Zerglings as possible, and now that Defiler is going to be because of Dark Storm, but the Marines are just short of that Dark Storm, so vultures can cover for those areas nicely here. So I think those tanks can kind of retreat now and maybe get repaired or something. One thing I wonder, you know, why do the Terran players don't repair their stuff against Zerg? Anyways, a nice Scourge work, and one single mutualist is gonna come out here and Yeah, maybe suicide itself. So I guess it is going to be the time for me to start to thank some people who have supported me in the last 30 days. There are their faces, and my computer is going to be running out of battery. I need to make sure the battery is well connected. Excuse me while I get this thing sorted out. There we go. Things are back to normal. So these are the people I'd like to thank. Mr. Daniel, thank you for your support in the last 30 days. And also the next person is Mr. George. Comunistas, mon amigo, hasta la vista, baby. Thank you for your support in the last 2 days. And last but not least, Mr. Sea Goblin from Norway. What are you doing, Viking boy? Enjoy your weekend, and let's get back to this game. What are we seeing here? Exactly, more mech coming out from Ssak. This is exactly the kind of the TvZ we want to play, not those, pussycat marine versus Zerglings, man. We want to see this kind of high-level tank versus Ultralisk. Well, I guess you don't see Ultralisk yet, but this mech army is looking very, very strong, and Ssak is the one player who could do it. He is so good with controlling his mech forces. Anyways, that was a little bit of a slip up here, losing the first science vessel. But there's going to be some tank sieging, but the Defiler is coming on south. Vulture needs to intercept right now. Vulture does a great intercept. We'll need to pull back and let the mine take the shots on those Zerglings. Great work. And we have a nice plague, but the tanks are sieging well and being spread out beautifully along various paths and having splash damage do the work. Very, very fortunately for the for the Zerg player, this base, the tank cannot siege anything. It cannot hit the hatcheries. But the Mutas came out of nowhere and start to take away those very, very damaged tanks, but the Goliaths come out and finish up those Mutas. Looks like Soulkey is a bit late to actually pull back his Mutas, but now they're going to be within reach of those remaining forces. Anyways, the tanks will come out here, and the Zerg is spreading out very, very thin. These Vultures need to lay a lot of mines and not just stand there like dead meat. The Defiler comes through. Goliaths need to go to work. Great mine just to buy time and come down south, drive those Zerglings into the hatcheries. Great mine works once again, and that Defiler, we need to do something. That last Valkyrie has fallen. Where are the Goliaths? They're trying to move across the map, but they are very slow, very, very slow. We may have a counterattack coming up very soon. The Goliaths are here though. One of the lurkers is destroyed. What about the second lurker? I think they both died. Both lurkers have died. This hatchery will fall. But what about the counterattack from Soulkey from the other side of the map? It looks like it's not coming. Soulkey's got a lot of forces. He needs to remake a lot of stuff, and these tanks are able to breach this area. But Zergs are reinforcing so fast, coming from various sides here. And Ssak has been doing really well for himself. He's leading by about 30 supply. These Vultures need to be micro manually. We're going to be having the Knights canal coming up. What can Ssak do? He destroyed the low ground. The Vultures need to go to We're going to be having a drop. Ladies and gentlemen, finally on Metropolis we have drops in TvZ. This is not usually something that we often see, but this drop will be able to do some damage here. Tanks, we need to move fast on the high ground. He gets some forces here. He needs to actually go on siege, and we do have these Vultures coming through this country to destroy the Sunkens. Not bad. If the one Sunken fall, then the rest of the Vultures can start to attack against the other forces and against the drone line. He gets a couple of drones, and these tanks are doing great work. There's going to be some drops on the tanks. The Goliaths need to pay attention. Goliaths are there to destroy the Overlords. Get the Overlords, destroy the tanks. Get dropped upon by several Ultras, and this is going to be insane here. Nice Dark Storm in the middle of everything. It's going to be a mine drag onto the tank. It's not coming. It is a mine drag, but this is a much smaller than mine drag. The average mine drag is 16 centimeters long. This one was like 5 centimeters. Anyways, going to be having some tanks coming from the low ground, and with a nice scan work to see those Sunkens. Not bad. We have a single Ultra just standing there and watching the show, but I think it's going to fall very, very quickly. Anyways, what can Soulkey do? Soulkey's behind by about 30 supply, and these tanks are doing great work. He would need to be within reach of the hatchery. It's not within reach of the hatchery, and more forces coming through. This hatchery is very close to falling. Soulkey, where is he mining from? Actually, he's not mining very much. He's mining from very few locations, and Ssak has done it, or what? He's very close to getting this hatchery destroyed. Soulkey is running in shambles. This hatchery has fallen, very few drones remaining. What can Soulkey do? He's going to try to go for counterattack. He's got a surplus of money, minerals, but he doesn't have enough gas. Anyways, cracklings coming through from outside. This base was saved. Is it saved? I'm not so sure. There's going to be a mine drag onto the Ultras. 2 Ultras remaining, but that's going to be a huge mine explosion. 1 Ultra remaining. That Ultra has fallen, and this base is going to be falling, and Ssak needs to scan. Is he scanning? He is not scanning. This base is clear out, but it's still not yet fully destroyed. That hatchery lives. And there's going to be more attack coming through, and these Vultures need to go somewhere else. He will come out. He will need to get this hatchery at the 3 o'clock position destroyed, because Soulkey is running out of money. He's definitely running out of money, and great pressure coming from all sides here. these tanks can need to see that area. He can see now. He will be able to destroy those Zerglings, and this hatchery get destroyed, and vultures will come back and wait for the tank to support. Nicely done. These drones cannot go back to mining, and Soulkey is going to be running out of minerals. The rest of the hatchery is very close to getting destroyed. Drones coming out, but it's going to be counter-attacked by the Zerg side towards the 730 position. I'm not so sure it will help or not. I guess it will, because that is one base where actually Ssak has a lot of money. There's going to be a science vessels coming out, and these drone line get destroyed, and Soulkey, I guess, has been defeated by Ssak. Wow, this game is going to get put in the list of best game for this year because it's so unconventional. We have a single lurker, they fire the rope going through, and it's going to be the height here for a long time, unless you actually have mine. We need to have mines getting set up there. That lurker can stay here and attack for a while. Of course, he will not be able to do that much damage because it's not, you know, it's a lone lurker. But anyways, a long line of Zerglings is going to try to move towards the bottom left. Maybe he's going to be better for him to attack the 9 o'clock position. He goes straight. Zerglings will be within reach of the command center. Go for the command center. Forget about everything else. I guess he wants to take the prize here. He will try to attack the tanks and force some splash work. Not bad. And then he will destroy the command center and force it to get lift at some point in the future. Great. He gets that tank. He's going to start to attack. He will go for the SCV, so he can get a few SCVs. The command center is burning, but not yet burning to red. It's just burning slightly. SCV is going to get destroyed. Ssak 136 supply. Soulkey 62. Soulkey can still be alive for a while because he's got a couple of mineral patches in his various side. But Zerglings are streaming through and forcing Ssak to send SCVs, you know, back to their factories, wherever they came from. And there's going to be some, I mean, maybe just some cleanup work for Ssak because +2 weapons and +2 armor for the tanks are way too strong. And now siege line has been set up at this other southern map. Ssak has cancelled his command center. He knows he doesn't need it. GG from Soulkey. If you enjoyed this video, buy me coffee and it's going to be in the description. See you soon. Bye bye.